and welcome to another episode of Exotics Radio. I am Crax, your host, and today we've got yours truly, like always, your favorite co-host, and we've got a treat for you. Dillon from previous shows has treated us today. He's come by, and he's got a special announcement. So announce yourself, tell the world about yourself, especially for those who are new to the show, and tell us what you've got planned going on right now.
Hey, my name's Dillon. I run Reptidill on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. I'm just sticking together a male and female curly hair.
It's sympathy sex.
It really is, because there's absolutely no need for more of these species, but whatever.
Oh, but hey, then this is a good promo for you, so you can sell some of the babies when they come out.
Half of them are going to the local pet store, because they're the ones they ordered from a breeder or distributor, and one of them, this curly hair, showed up as a mature male.
Oh, well, whoops.
So they just gave him to me. They were like, do you want him? And I was like, yeah, I guess I can stick him with my female. I don't.
Oh, see, this is what we were talking about the last show, how it would be behoove of the pet stores not to keep the males and sell them off, but to actually find a respectable breeder or distributor, have them bred, and then they get half the clutch. So, because yours truly had a question about that last time, and so that's how I answered it. But yeah, that's a perfect example of how they handle it. Wow, I can't speak today. I'm so tired. I was a little bit sick today, so.
Well, let it slide just for today. Just for today, and then no more sliding after today.
Woman, you need to
right on top of it.
You need to hush.
Welcome, Reptidill. It's good to see you again. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. Sorry, guys. I was just taking a nap when she gave the intro, so my bad.
No problem.
So nap sounds great, though.
Yeah, it does. But it is 6 o'clock in the morning here Monday morning, so I can't complain. I slept pretty decently solid, I guess, if you want to call it that. I just need some more coffee. And if you hear, the neighbors getting up, getting ready. So I have fairly thin walls, so as you guys know. So today we're going to cover the T.Blondi. Now, I've handled this particular species before when I was doing my internship. What about you? Dillon, have you? I know truly hasn't. What about you?
Hold on, I'm confused. Which one is Blondi?
The Blondi is the biggest one.
The Goliath-eating bird eater.
The Goliath bird-eating.
Strimmy or whatever.
No, not the Strimmy. Though they look exactly alike, and it's very, very hard to tell the difference. But not the Strimmy.
Yeah, but Strimmies are the more common ones. They're the burgundies, right?
I believe so, actually.
Okay, because I have those. But I've never had a Blondi.
Blondies get just a little bit bigger, and Blondies make noise. They stridulate. They rub their femurs together to make the hissing sound when they're threatened. They're also the ones that were discovered by Tamerlan Thurell back in, I think it was 1860, 1850, something like that. Don't quote me on that one. I do not have my notes in front of me, though I should. It would probably behoove me to do so, but I don't. But yeah. But the Strimmies are pretty much the same across the board. So you've had experience with the Strimmy, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about some of your experiences, because I remember last time we tried to do a huge interview, and I'm still trying to edit that. But you're talking about how you almost had to give up your room to it. It's that same spider, right?
Yeah, it's that one. I call him Biggins.
Aw, so cute.
Well, I say him. I actually have no idea. I tried looking at the molt last time, and I'm assuming female at this point, but I couldn't get a good look at it.
Do you know how old they are?
I don't know how old the biggest one is. I have one that's just a few months old, and it's already like 2 inches.
Oh, good grief.
Inch and a half, 2 inches.
Holy cow, that's fast.
Yeah. And that's a for sure female, because they're so big so early that, people with a little better eye for it than me can sex them really, really early.
Now, for those who are not quite catching on, this particular tarantula that we're talking about gets the size of a dinner plate when they're an adult. At least the females get about if I remember correctly. Now, mind you, I'm going from centimeter to inches, so just hang in there with me. It's like 12 inches, I believe. It's like 30 centimeters or 12 inches. And so on average, it's between 25 and 30 centimeters. So between 10 inches, I believe, 10 inches and 10 to 12 inches for the females. The males get a little smaller than that, but not by much.
I just have a quick question.
Hmm.
Why does that sound like something that could eat my chihuahua?
Because it could.
Probably because it could.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're not going to Venezuela. We're not going anywhere where these things are found, guys. I love my chihuahua too much for this.
They don't call them bird eaters for no reason.
Well, it did say chihuahua eater, so I'm assuming it was a little bit different, but I guess it's not.
Actually, them actually catching them in the wild and eating a wild bird while it flaps around is high misconception. Many people think of the artist, and it's because of the one painting where it's pulling a hummingbird out of a tree. My theory on it was probably an already dead bird, and then the tarantula just came upon it, considering they're huge scavengers and mammals aren't generally on their list of food. Or not mammals, birds and reptiles. Wow, I'm tired.
I was about to say, well, good thing birds aren't mammals.
Wow.
I am tired. Holy cow. On that note, how about we take a quick break and I'll insert a song here while I go get
And that's
a cup
the
of
show,
coffee.
ladies and gentlemen. After this song, good seeing you guys. See you next week. Thank you. Have a great night. Goodbye.
This next song coming up is Disc Monique by Dusty Dex. And welcome back, everybody. That was Disc Monique by Dusty Dex. I am Crax, your host, and today we have yours truly as well, your favorite co-host. But we have a special guest, Dillon with Reptidill as well, from TikTok and Instagram. We're talking about the T.Blondi, and I would have to say this is probably the tarantula that got me interested in tarantulas. This was like the gateway tarantula for me. How about you guys?
No. The curly haired was my gateway. Because it looks like a poodle, I swear. I really want one. I really do. If you guys have never heard the show before, guys, and you're just tuning in, if you guys just tune in and drop some comments, and you guys can really get this page shared and get people listening to this show, I will buy a curly-haired tarantula, and I will name it Poodle or Bob Ross or Crax. And you guys will help me pick the name for my new curly-haired tarantula. So make sure you guys get the share showed, and show share.
Share the show shared, liked and shared.
The show shared.
This is going great.
it's late night for me too, guys, and there is unfortunately no coffee around for me because you know how this goes. Doing the late night thing. So get the share show or
Get the show shared.
yes, okay. And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. If you could share the show, that would be great. I will get a curly haired tarantula if you guys can get on board with that. And I think that would be awesome
I'll
because I
send you
want you
one
guys
for
to
free
partake
in
in
about
this.
6 months.
Oh my gosh. So wait, hold on. Is this the one that's already matured?
No, but what do you think he's doing right now? He's breeding the two. We just
okay.
talked about this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, you weren't
Yes.
here for
Well,
that.
I
You weren't
know.
here for the sympathy sex talk.
Well, how do you know if they're like really, this is going to sound really bad. And I know this show is like educational, but I'm not educated in this. How do they breed? Do they like just lock legs?
Oh, you want to answer that one, or do you want me to answer that, Dylan?
I'll let you have at it.
So you can laugh at me while I try to explain. I
Ladies and
appreciate
gentlemen,
that.
we're bringing you some education on.
No, because I know I
breeding.
wouldn't explain it any better.
Throw the host under the bus. Okay, so how it happens is first we'll take the male and female and put the female in her burrow. So you guys can get a mental image of that. And then as the male creeps up on the female's burrow, this is just the area, her little territory, say an enclosure, for example, he'll do what we call drumming. And that's taking his pouty pups, his little toes, and start rapidly beating them against her webbing. But it's really quick. He's not destroying her webbing, if you put it that way, but he's getting her attention. And if she's interested, she'll slowly creep out and start doing the same thing. And so let's just assume everything is going well. He gets up under her. He uses his front leg, really long legs. This is one of the reasons why they're very long-legged. He has little hooks on his femurs, and they hold up her legs. Now she has, I believe is it called the spermica, Dylan? The
Sure.
little, I call it the sperm catcher is what I call it. But she's got a little pouch behind there. And that's where he inserts his not tibias, his pedipalps, and he starts pumping in reproductive juices, if you want to put it that way.
That sounds way worse than just saying sperm.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to be nice here, guys.
see, now that we've got the educational side of this, and I can like not unsee this in my head because I'm gonna probably go watch YouTube to go watch it now. But
There you go.
you know what? I am gonna do
She's
that.
gonna
While
be-
we're on here, we are gonna
Government's
sit here
going
and
to be
watch
at
it.
your door.
So if you guys like hear me going, oh my gosh, okay, so that's what's gonna happen with
I'm
this.
just watching spiders. He's putting his reproductive juices inside her.
Okay, hold
Try to
on.
explain that
Literally
one.
her search history. Tarantula reproductive juices.
Tarantula breeding.
Oh, here she goes. Here she goes. It looks like he's arm wrestling her, if you want to look at it that way.
Okay,
But if
here
he
we
can
go.
get
Well, it
And
depends on if
afterwards-
she's trying to eat him.
Oh, that's true.
Okay,
Like I said,
okay,
I-
Mexican red knees.
To me, it's always looked like they're trying to like fight.
Yeah, like box.
Ooh, he molted and became an adult, and now he's ready to have some fun. Ooh, you vicious little thing. Ooh. That evening was time to introduce them. Oh, he's just like flaring them legs around. And I know it's the him because he's smaller than the female.
Yes, it will always be smaller than the female. There's never an instance where the male will be bigger than the female when it comes to maturity.
Whoa, the female's got some big old booties. Oh, he's slowly creeping up. Oh, she don't like him. Oh, he scared her. Or she scared him. That made me jump.
I'd be scared too.
Yeah, she's got two purposes in mind. One of them's to eat him.
He's like touched her and then he ran.
Well,
so
either
fast.
way, it ends in her eating him. Like, in her mind,
most
there's
cases.
That's in
food
nature,
there.
though, right? You could take them out once you're done with them.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it doesn't go so well. I would say
He said
majority
we'll
of the time
try
it doesn't
again
go
in
so
a
well.
few days. So let's fast forward to where they're trying again in a few days. I don't care about this commercial. I
I've
don't
seen
care about
them
Priceline.
act like they're all for the male just to get him closer so that she can eat him.
Oh,
Oh, see,
something's getting rolled over.
I've never seen that happen before.
It's rolling
I've
something
never
into
seen
a
it
ball.
personally. I've seen it on YouTube.
There's a lot of firsts on YouTube. That's a
Well, it
discussion
was
for a different day.
the Dark Den.
Oh,
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
right, okay.
yeah. I think I remember that episode. Given the
I
dark.
want to
Den,
say
I
he was
shut up.
able to still separate them, but it was close.
okay. I don't have time to watch all this, so I'm going to go find one that's even better. Oh, tarantula mating. Don't lose your
I
head.
got
Okay,
time.
here we go. And it has 814 subscribers, or 8.14 million subscribers.
It sounds either like the Dark Den or Exotic Slayer.
It's BBC.
Don't know that one. Have you heard of them?
BBC or British
BBC.
Broadcasting Channel.
Oh, British Broadcasting Channel. Okay, BBC.
Oh,
BBC.
they're searching for love. He said he's searching for love, but he's going to get eaten. I mean, like, how is that love?
There's no love in the spider world.
Dang, he's got like legs
Yeah,
that
it's
are
not
just
love in the way you think of it.
Yeah, no. She's looking at him like a Big Mac.
I mean, oh, look at his little eyeballs. Silken threads. Okay, he found the silken threads. He's going, guys. Oh, he just like puffed up like I'm Hercules.
I'm waiting for that live reaction for when she finally sees it. Yep, no,
We'll have to
Yep.
bleep out some words probably. No, just kidding. It's coming out of the hole.
she's coming
And
out
she
of the hole.
eats him.
Yeah, she's coming out of the hole. Oh, I don't want to watch her eat him yet. What? Oh, they're doing that little thing with their little toes.
Yes, that's drumming.
Yes, they're both drumming at each other, so that means they want a piece, right?
Yes,
Oh, he said
Generally,
this is very dangerous for him. Oh,
yes, it is.
snap.
She knows there's something live and well in there, and she wants to eat it.
Oh, she's coming out to eat him. Oh.
But if he's
What
lucky,
the
she'll take
hell
the
are they
reproductive
doing?
juices first.
That's what you're going to call it from now on, isn't it? I have made a new name.
Oh, ew. He's got like little hooks coming out of his legs.
That's
He
the,
had
Is that
little
like
hooks
his
on
little-
legs.
he had hooks on his legs, so those are always there. They're
Oh,
femur
she's
hooks.
relaxed. So what does that mean when she's relaxed? She's not going to eat him yet?
No, it means she's.
Well,
she's drawing
let me say
closer.
those hooks are only there to keep her back
Ew.
from
Oh,
eating.
what's
him.
it doing? Oh my gosh.
Oh, welcome to the world of.
It just
breeding
tickled her
children.
belly button or something.
That was breeding. That was it. That was the action.
It just tickled her belly button.
Why is she opening her mouth?
Opening her mouth.
Oh, dude, and he just took the walk of shame right on out of there. She's like, what just happened? And he's like gone. He's like deuces. He's like,
Yep.
never call me again.
Oh
That
yeah,
was a
when it's over, the male
stand.
tries to get away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Unless
He
for
said,
certain
"Is
types
that
of
his fate?"
spiders, but generally for tarantula, it's almost always an escaped attempt.
Hold on, I gotta rewatch that.
While you rewatch that, I'm going to take a quick break and insert the next song.
Okay, cool.
Everybody, we have Eakins by Mo Live coming up. Welcome back, everybody. That was Eakins Mo Life, or I should say Mo's Life's Eakins. I am with your favorite co-host, yours truly, as I am Crax, your favorite host, and we have a treat today. We have Reptidill or I should say Dillon with us, go check out his channel. Go check out his TikTok and or his Instagram. It's called Reptidill. So I will leave the information in the description below. Now, you were saying how traumatized you were, and Dillon was about to say something, and I interrupted it because I knew where he was going with this.
He just like stuck his little whatever it is in her belly button. Like, no, it's
I feel like
not
nobody ever gave you the
breeding.
talk.
No, I mean, not the
adult
spider
talk. Like I said, well, when a mommy Spidey and a daddy Spidey get together, he slaps her belly button.
It's not love.
And then babies get made.
You're giving me ideas for when I have to give my children the talk and be like, oh, you tickle her belly button. That's exactly what happens.
Go watch how the tarantulas do it. You'll get some education. But, like, okay,
never
so
See these reproductive juices?
they said, I can't right now. I can't do this with a straight face. The reproductive juices of the tarantulas.
Yes.
So now, and it's not venom, guys. If you guys don't know what it is, Google. It will be your best friend. As in, like, but YouTube has been my best friend to learn this stuff that you guys talk about, because, like, I can picture it in my head. And let me tell you guys something. It is not what I pictured outside of my head. Okay, like, completely different. And I go watch this stuff, and I'm like, "Are you for real right now?"
Yes, it's very alien. You can just say that it's almost alien. It's very different.
So that's how all tarantulas.
I will say this
by poking the belly button.
Yes,
I will say this in the most appropriate way I can. They're the only things that I know of so far that don't breed by like mounting in the traditional way. Like I can't think of anything else that does it differently than that.
Oh, I can think of a slew of creatures: worms,
Fish,
snails, octopus.
How do snails breed?
Well, don't snails?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
No, I do.
Trust me.
Hold on, I gotta go look at YouTube.
Nope. Oh God, she's gonna be traumatized for
But
life.
I feel like with tarantulas, it's this whole backwards process for the male. Like,
kind of, if you really think about it, but it's successful in a way as well.
Breeding.
I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's close to for the purpose that it serves, because it puts him right under her fangs. So technically, he would be the last nutritional boost she would have before she lays. And that would carry her until the babies hatch, and then she eats again. Unless you have a piggy like a Blondi, because Blondis are known to eat while there's a sack. So
what the hell is this? They have snail breeding and then cooking them afterwards. Like, who does that?
I bet
She
they're
looked it
tasty.
up.
Okay, here we go. How to breed mystery snails, apple snail. Here we go.
How did we get from Blondis to snails? That's my question.
This is Exotics Radio.
Somewhere
guys.
in the middle,
Anything
we had the
possible.
talk and belly button tickling and
Reproductive
juices.
That one looks really boring. I gotta find a snail that's like ready to breed. So let's see. Snail eggs hatching. Like, they come in eggs? I thought they like popped out of their
First and
shell.
last time you'll ever say that in your entire life.
Okay, what's an escargot snail breeding? Oh, escargot snail breeding at home. Here we go.
Oh dear.
Your internet service provider hates you so much.
The FBI is probably going, what is this? Oh.
Okay.
Tarantula
so
reproductive juices? What? How snails breed? What? You breed and cook? What? Oh, she's going to not go there somewhere. Okay, I'm having a good time at your expense, my dear.
You'll have to forgive all the cricket chirping in the background of this recording.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
I'm sure it's way worse over the audio.
Actually, I don't hear it. Only time I hear about anything is when you're next to your bird that you call evil, or the door.
Oh.
Well, see, the problem is I have to stay next to her, or she starts screaming because I'm not next to her.
Okay,
But yet, at the same time, she doesn't
other.
like you because you're a man.
Yeah, she's weird. Right?
She's a little different. It's all right. At least she accepts you enough to get close. So.
Yeah, I guess.
But to get back to the Blondi, I wanted to bring about how important it is to do your research before you get the species. Definitely do your research before you get the species. They're definitely
Sounds like
not.
We've done tons before this.
I know, we just keep getting so sidetracked. But as I was saying, we'll start with the slings. First of all, they're quite bolty. They're crazy. I don't know how else to explain it. That, and they're much bigger than a normal sling. So with all of that, you have to understand they're also moisture dependent. Heavily moisture dependent. I just learned a really good recipe in keeping one for substrate, and that was to mix stagnant moss, peat moss, and cocoa fiber. And that's to help maintain humidity. You cannot let these guys dry out whatsoever. And then on top of that, you need to let them have fresh water at all times. It's just a lot of things with it. And then of course, you never put a heat lamp or a light on them. Don't put them in the sun. Please don't put them in the sun. They like it dark, quiet. But I wanted to cover the fact that their attitude is just so spastic. You really don't know what they're thinking or how their attitude is. So they're not a tarantula I would ever recommend to handle if you're into handling. My stance is never to handle a tarantula, but that's just my stance. I don't blame others who find it therapeutic or find it interesting or fun to do. Fighters not getting anything out of it. So it's totally you, but if you do it safely, I don't see any problems with it. It's just personally for myself, I would never do it. But with this particular tarantula, I would definitely never suggest doing it because of the size of the fangs. It's not the weak venom that's going to hurt. It's the size of the fangs. You sound like you've been bit before.
No, but I have seen up close the fangs of a strimmy, and no, I'm good.
Are you saying that those would hurt?
Those would make a tetanus shot look like nothing.
If I'm correct, it's about 1 inch long, correct? For an adult?
Mine are a little bit, because she, I believe it's a she, is not full grown yet, but they are already probably pushing 3/4 inch.
Ooh.
And at least this particular adult does not seem like she would be too wary to use them.
She wouldn't be afraid to show them and use them, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to stress on one thing, though. They aren't just a brown spider. They're quite interesting. Like I said, this is one of the tarantulas that got me into studying tarantulas as a whole. And arachnids, it just went from there. So I have to say, they're not just a brown spider. Even though they are a brown spider, they get quite large. They have a lot more personality, I believe, in my experience, than any of the other tarantulas that I've run across. Except for maybe the OBT. I think the OBT kind of tops that, but that's just how OBTs are.
See, I feel like versicolors have the biggest one.
Really? Why is that?
The versicolor seems to be so freaking fearless that it's like, it's not scared of anything. It's just...
That's true.
If I open the enclosure, it goes, okay, I'm coming out now.
I would say the versicolor is probably also one of the tamest. But of course, if you're going to fling poo at your enemies, I think you're pretty okay. I think you know at that point, not too many things are going to mess with you. So you have the right to just walk anywhere and everywhere you want. If not, you just shoot poo at it and things just get out of your way. So
kind of like life.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the video. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out how they breed. Sorry, guys. I'm just like randomly going through videos.
Oh my gosh. She's going to be scared for
I
life by the
also
time.
only have like a little more time.
Okay.
And then I have to hop off.
Okay. Again, it was really nice to have you here. I appreciate you coming on the show. We do these every Monday morning. So again, you're always welcome to come to the show. Bring a friend if you'd like. Tell us updates on how the breeding. And you're always welcome. And I love having you here because then I get to run everything that I know by you. It's like, because I know if I mess up, this is not like a normal echo chamber. It's not like, oh, yeah. No. If I mess up, you're the first one to laugh at me.
Well, yeah, but that's because people laugh at me when I mess up, so it's fun. But her tone of voice, where she was like, when you were like, we always love having you on the show, I was expecting like just the way you were saying it, but...
No, it's not like that. You know that.
Not with the reproductive use.
Don't come back.
No, we love having you here. I learned something new from you guys today. You guys told me about breeding, and so now I went to go check it out, I'm not going to lie, the snail thing did scare me a little bit. That was kind of disturbing. But the tarantula breeding, so good luck to your tarantula, because you said you're breeding them today. You're going to try to.
Just about 15 minutes.
I've got a quick question before you take off, though. One thing that most people don't understand, especially when it comes to tarantulas, is the hair. I don't think people put enough emphasis on the damage that the hair can do to the eyes and nose. I wanted your opinion on that, especially when it comes to the T-Blondi.
I'm not the person to ask about that. Because I seem, at least so far, to have absolutely no reaction to their hair whatsoever.
Oh, that's good. You're kind of like me in that regard. I get a little itchy, but it's nothing bad.
I don't even get that. Like, they can kick at me all day, and I won't even notice.
Oh, wow.
I understand that a lot of people, that's not going to be the case. It's just hard for me to put emphasis on it because
it doesn't happen to you.
Bothered me.
But for our listeners out there who don't understand how important it is when you do a cage cleaning maintenance day, I generally don't wear a mask. I should, but I don't. But I'm careful not to touch my eyes. If my eye itches or whatever, I'm very careful not to touch my eyes afterwards. Because if you look up the damage, if you look on YouTube, or not YouTube, but on Google and see the damage that these hairs can do to the eyes, it's just really not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well imagine them being like, tiny little barbs that are just going to cut into you.
I kind of look at it like fiberglass.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
Yeah, except for fiberglass.
Do you think they actually put tarantula hair in fiberglass?
No, but they do in itching powder.
They put tarantula hair in it?
No, itching powder is tarantula hair.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's been around since the 40s. Some companies still do it. Some companies, they believe synthetically use synthetics for itching powder, but for a really long time, I know for sure that it was used as itching powder.
Wow. I'm trying to figure out the cultivating process of urticating hairs off a tarantula.
Well, I'm sure that's what it is they're probably getting exoskeletons and somehow getting them from there. I don't know the process, but I can only imagine it'd be from the exoskeletons, so it's not like you're... Ooh, I heard that. It's not like you're...
That's my dog, sorry. Shh, quit snoring, wake up.
Poor puppy. Just wake the puppy up. But yeah, one thing that has amazed me is when you have people out there who are really super sensitive and they actually start turning red, they blister up. So it's like, are they having an allergic reaction to the hair, or are they having an allergic reaction to the hair? So that always makes me wonder about that. But if you're like you or like me, who's mildly affected but not too bad, still keep in mind to wear goggles when you're, especially with this particular tarantula. These hairs.
I'll put it this way: I have more of a reaction to dubia roaches than I do tarantulas.
Really, I won't touch a roach. I'm sorry. That's one of my biggest fears. I just have an absolute terrifying fear of them. I'll feed my tarantulas everything but a roach.
I love roaches. It's great.
Now, also, I wanted to cover one more thing before you leave, because you showed me pictures of your collection of your feeders, basically preparing for like the doomsday, or not really doomsday, but when you're not able to go get food for your animals.
I'm breeding to sell them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, then please tell people about that before you go.
I mean, what part of it? The
fact that you have
roaches, crickets, fruit flies, and I'm here soon. I'm going to grab some mealworms, but mealworms are so easy. If you feed mealworms, I don't know why you don't breed them, because it's probably the easiest thing to breed.
Okay.
But yeah, right now, I don't know, somewhere getting close to about 20,000 crickets in here.
Wow.
I don't know, something like 10,000 roaches.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
Yeah, all the... I finally just got the incubator done for all the... Do what?
I said, I'm sure it's good for the tarantulas, but you got me cringing over here with a big fat no.
It's awesome. You know how nice it is, not to have to worry about going to get feeders?
Oh, I imagine. See, that's a huge perk. That's a huge perk. Unless you're living in an apartment complex. So tell me, do you have any tips for those who are like me, living in an apartment complex that are not allowed to have feeders because they can be considered invasive pests if they get out? So the laws in some places say you can have your tarantula, because it's not like the tarantula is going to really go anywhere unless you're like living in a place like Spain or anywhere in the Mediterranean, or where it's warm and easy for them to get around. But I'm talking about places like Sweden. Is there any tips and tricks that you could pass on, or just find
if you can't breed them, then the one thing I would suggest is finding a local breeder, because you can get them way cheaper than if you were to go like a chain pet store. That being said, I mean, most of these kind of bugs you can breed in like storage totes, other than crickets, because they're loud. I don't see how anybody would ever know you had. Yeah, well, I don't know. That's kind of debatable. They get smelly when their humidity gets too high, and in that case, they're going to die from it anyway. So you're not doing it right. Like, there's probably almost 10 huge totes in here with just crickets in them, and this room doesn't smell at all unless for some reason humidity gets in there.
And maybe that's what we could do for next show, is have you come on and explain, feeder care.
Oh yeah, I'm down. hardest ones are crickets. The easiest ones are like roaches and mealworms. Yeah, that would
I
be
like
my
mealworms.
biggest recommendation. If you cannot breed them because your apartment doesn't allow it, at least don't waste your money at like a pet store. Mainly because a lot of them carry a species that is, depending on where you live, not going to survive the car ride home. Also, you're going to spend probably 3-4 times the amount you would if you just found somebody breeding them in their garage, because that's what a lot of the local breeders do. They convert their garage and insulate it, just breed crickets.
Okay, but yeah, I would really love to have you on the show this next coming Monday morning, and we can talk about feeder care. Be a little bit of a different.
Luckily, your Monday mornings are my Sunday afternoons.
That's how that works.
Time zones, right?
Oh yeah, that's great. So anyways, give yourself one last shout out. Tell everybody about your business and tell everybody about your Instagram and your TikTok, and then we will send you off with a song.
Yeah, my name's Dillon. I run the channels Reptidill on TikTok and Instagram. It's just all about reptile and invertebrates and stuff like that. I honestly don't even know what the direction of my business is. I do a little bit of everything, but yeah, so go check it out. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it was a pleasure having you. I really enjoyed this. And for everybody listening, we have our next song coming up. It is For Tonight by Cushy. And welcome back, everybody. I am Crax, your host. That was For Tonight by Cushy. Again, I am Crax, your host. I almost messed that up again. Oh, wow. Why do I do these shows before I get coffee? And I'm sitting here with yours truly, your favorite co-host.
Hey guys.
So we discovered a few things. Tickling belly buttons, reproductive juices, large tarantulas.
And we are inventing, guys, get ready for this. We are going to be millionaires, all of us, because we are inventing condoms for tarantulas so the males don't get eaten.
Oh my god. See, this is I know where this is going. Who needs coffee when I have you?
I'm glad I could be your caffeine in the early mornings.
The sad part is I don't have any like sexy songs.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Yeah, so I have no music to go with that.
Are you ready? Get
Okay, sure.
low on it. Hit that belly button, tarantula, you got it.
Okay, that's just cringe and a half.
Hey, 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 hey. That was my beautiful
Oh.
singing voice, y'all. I did this just for you.
Okay.
Hey.
So you've seen the pictures of the bird eater. So what do you think?
Now, before we started discussing tarantulas, that would have been a big fat nope.
Okay,
But now it's kind of cool just to like look at it and like, but again, it's not like sitting right in front of my face, so it's easier for me to say, yeah, I like it.
nice,
I'm cool with it.
nice. Yeah,
But you get it in front of my face, that's a big fat no.
I'll have to take you to an expo one of these days.
I'm serious. That looks like something that will eat my chihuahua, and I'm not okay with that.
They get pretty big. I don't think they'd eat your chihuahua. They have a hard time even with mice, so I don't think they'll eat your chihuahua. But if you have any hamsters, that might be a different story.
No.
Not even gonna lie or play around. No, I don't support live feedings of mammals or reptiles to tarantulas. Tarantulas are made for invertebrates. I'm old school in that way. And again, unless it's a frozen, pre-killed, which is usually killed humanely and then frozen, and then you thaw it out. And after you thaw it out, you warm it up, let it get a bit warm for it. Then you feed it to your tarantula. If you want to give it a little something different, that I can see. But you see a lot of people who want to feed their T.Blondi live food, and I don't condone that. Again, I don't support that. I get why they do it because they're doing it for the clicks, they're doing it for the dramatic effect, and it's very dramatic. It's very painful to watch. The animal is suffering. I mean, insects are suffering as well. Think about it. You're bitten with huge fangs, so you're basically getting stabbed to death repeatedly and then held in place as venom pumps through your body, causing you to freeze up. It's a very horrifying way to go in the world. Nature is not kind, so keep that in mind. Now you've got some person who wants to do this for a dramatic effect so they can get clicks on their show. Again, I cannot support that. I just really cannot do it. Yep. All jokes aside, and getting a little bit serious there, that's where I stand on that.
I do want to say this, though. Be humane when you do it. Like, I don't know. Like, it just bothers me to watch a live animal get killed. I was like, did it know that it was going to die? Absolutely not. And it just bothers me and I start crying.
And that's the thing. I don't support it at all. What I do support is, again, the humane way of putting them down, which is for the pre-kills. They're killed and then frozen. You as the owner thaws them out. They make up really good backup food. Because remember, these animals are scavengers in the wild. If it's dead and on the ground, it's a free-for-all at that point. And also, if you get it from a reputable place or a respectable place, then you can not have to worry about parasites or anything like that. So again, it's, in my eyes, it's not only humane, but it's safer to feed health-wise because of the issues with parasites and bacteria. And I'm trying to think what else before we get into our next song.
One thing I do want to say, though, about the T.Blondi is it's really cool when you actually see them molt. I liked learning that like their fangs and everything grow with them, and it was really cool to actually see them molt. It was really
absolutely
cool. Just seeing how big they are. Yes. The fangs on those things are insane. It is really cool.
And because they're magnificent size, you have to understand these things get huge. They get the size of a dinner plate. No matter where you are in the world, what measuring system you use, you know what the size of a dinner plate is. These things get the size of a dinner plate. Now we've got a next song coming up. You know what that next song is?
Yours Truly is Awesome by Yours Truly.
No, but nice try, but no. It's Orpington Buff by Yobi.
That was close. There was a your in there.
welcome back, everybody. I'm Crax, your host, with yours truly, your favorite co-host. This is Exotics Radio, and you've got a little bit of a mic issue going on. I keep hearing it. It sounds like a lightsaber in the background.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could hear you, but I heard the reverb.
It's still doing it?
A little bit, but don't unplug yet. Just we'll just finish it up. I'll try to edit it out. If I can't edit out too much, it'll be okay. Because we're gonna wrap things up. Again, thank you everybody for being here with us this evening, or I should say this morning. Depending on where you're at, it's your evening, my morning, I believe is how it goes. Or is it your midday, or is it your morning?
It is my almost evening.
Oh, see. But it is my morning here in Sweden. And again, thank you for everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. Any words you want to share? Any last words?
Wow, that sounds kind of like you're like trying to like kill me off the show. Any last words? My final words. No, again, guys, I love doing this show with you. I'm learning so much. And yes, I tried to bring a little bit of the comedy today because we had a guest in here, so it kind of helped out. But I did do a lot of research on the T.Blondi, but it's not going to be me that gets one. So
yes, I want to make sure that everybody knows, even though the tarantula is very popular amongst hobbyists, this tarantula isn't for everybody. So keep that in mind. They get big, they're territorial, so they have a lot of attitude, they're spastic, they have a lot of requirements, especially humidity requirement. That one's probably the biggest, and that's probably why I'm like hugely against owning one myself. So I would probably never own one because of the humidity requirements. But, that's just me. Again, this tarantula is not for everybody, and I love my tarantulas, you know that. So why don't you promote your other show?
Well, I'm actually on a couple other shows right now too.
Put those out there.
But see, here's the thing though. I can't really promote our other show other than the fact we're doing a farewell show this week on Crosstalk. We're doing our farewell show on this platform, and we are moving to a bigger form. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to be known as Truly Impacted. So I'm really, really excited. I can't wait. So make sure you guys check us out. We'll be giving updates as to where we will be going here soon. Also, you can check me out for sports weeknights at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, wherever that is in your time of the world, for the Slightly Serious Show. And I'll bring you your sport.
Where I just have the Talking Corner live on Wednesdays and Fridays on Podbean. And then I do the recordings with you for Exotics Radio, trying to bring you more information because you know how you battle fear. You get to know more about it. Or maybe you've been in the hobby for quite some time and you just are a tarantula geek or nerd like I am. I love my tarantulas. Now you guys know what I want for Christmas. I want tarantula stuff.
She just wants some more tarantulas. That's all she wants.
When do I never want tarantulas? Come on now.
So make sure you guys make a generous donation so we can get her tarantula for Christmas.
You do not have to make a generation donation. Stop that. All right. I'm going to close this off with the last two songs. Moving on. And that is Stone Cookies by Dusty Dex and Reptidill by Yobi.